Hi guys, it's Rachel.
Aya.
And this is Hannah.
And welcome to the very first official podcast of Women on the Rise, a podcast brought to you by the Pink Stairs organization.
Our first official guest is a creator with an incredible 26,000 following on Instagram and also an 18 times hackathon winner, Audrey Chen, also known as GSC.
So, Audrey, please take some time to introduce yourself to the viewers.
So thank you so much for the opportunity. I love what you're doing with the show, and I'm super honored to be the first guest. A little bit about myself is, yes, I'm a hackathon enthusiast. So 2 weeks ago, I went to get my 18th hackathon win, and I love creating memes on the internet, but also sharing strategies about hackathons, my experience as a woman in tech, and as a person in the LGBTQ community, also in tech.
So, around like social media, you constantly share share your experience as a business major and how you transferred into computer engineering. So that's like a pretty drastic change. And so what kind of drew you from studying like into the STEM field?
Honestly, I've always really liked creating stuff. Like creativity in STEM was something that I didn't realize like I could have. Like previously, I'd only be using my creativity for art stuff, or like coming up with businesses. And that's why I decided to go into business initially. In addition, like even though I knew I liked building things, I had like a bit of an insecurity with math. And I was like, oh, if I'm not good at math, I'll never become an engineer. But that changed when I went to my first hackathon. And that's when I like actually got hands-on and realized that, hey, you don't need to be good at one particular area of STEM to have a place in it. And that's what sent me to more and more hackathons. And I was like, man, I'll just switch my major at this point. And I did.
A lot of youth struggle with finding their passion since making that switch or like transition seems so scary to a lot of people. So how did you navigate through that switch or transition?
Right. So the classes were much harder than business classes, engineering classes. And like, even before taking the classes, like knowing that the major was going to switch was already intimidating. Like you see just like the label of the class, like, oh, differential equations or like Calc 2, and you just start to freak out because if you haven't had like a tech background, I didn't have a tech background, yeah, it sort of just sends you into like a more imposter syndrome than you would like to have. And the way to navigate that was really just engaging in the area of tech that I really loved, which was continuing to go to hackathons. Not everything has to be about one area of tech. Not everything has to be about the academics, although it's still good to like continue trying for all opportunities that you're given. But it's really just like recognizing what part of tech that you genuinely love and sticking with it, no matter what else in tech happens.
Have you ever considered majoring in like something else you enjoy, such as like music?
Yeah, I have considered that. Back when I was like releasing music on Spotify, I thought I was going to be a music major, but right now it's more like a hobby. I think majors, people might think that you have to, that like if you choose a certain major, that's like your end all be all. But like I'm still able to find time to do music. I don't think I would have actually switched into being like a genuine music major, but yeah, it probably would be my second choice.
If you could give advice to your high school self, so like turn the clock back a few years, what would you say?
I would say don't be afraid to explore more. I was like super caught up in getting good grades and like sticking to a very general routine, and like I would like cancel social plans, like make sure I was like pleasing my parents, everything. Like I wouldn't go out and travel. And if I had like gone out to my first hackathon a little bit earlier, or if I had like explored STEM, or like bought my first Arduino kit, then I think things would have been a bit different. I mean, I'm still glad for the place I am in right now, but it's like not everything has to be extremely rigid. You should like allow exploring for yourself in high school.
Since you talked about exploring, what do you hope to do in the future? Like job, life, literally anything. So basically, what's your aspiration to do in the future?
Right now in the future, I want to be an engineer of some sort still, for sure. And I'm not exactly sure if I want to go into like super officey corporate or go into the startup world, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be leaning more towards the startup world.
This is really similar to Aya's question just now. So, how does your current outlook on life kind of compare to the future you expected, like back when you were a student in high school?
Oh, when I was a student in high school, yeah, I really didn't think I'd be in tech at all. I was in a computing class, and I told my my friend next to me, and I was like, I am never ever doing computer science ever again. And now I'm here every single day. Yeah, it's drastically different.
Speaking of computer science, what's your favorite coding language?
Favorite coding language is probably Python. I love machine learning.
I love Python.
Yes. Okay, that's good.
Well, it's so much easier to use than all the other ones, and it's like
Exactly. Yeah.
What has your journey in computer engineering been like so far?
So far, there have been ups and there have been downs. Adjusting to the classes was difficult as I expected. Like, I succeeded in some areas, and in some areas, honestly, I didn't. But what mattered was I kept on going towards the next thing, and I'm going to finish out my degree and continue with my passions. Like, building stuff probably won't be taken away from me. So that journey, yeah, it's been so exciting, honestly. Like, I don't know, if I was still a business major, I don't think I would be flying out like almost every weekend with like paid flights. So every day, like, I look forward to seeing what I can build next.
So then, could you share like any kind of challenges that you had, that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
One challenge was working in engineering teams, like both from a technical standpoint and a non-technical standpoint. Getting to know continuous integration in my first 2 hackathons, and then from like the non-technical standpoint was figuring out how to divide tasks. Like, beforehand, I would go into like a competition or group projects or like general life, like thinking that I would like carry it on my own shoulders, and if things didn't go right, then I would just blame myself. But I realized that there's another layer to like navigating life and navigating competitions, which is like really bring everyone in and like genuinely share your vision and share everyone's vision in getting to a certain goal.
How do you stay motivated in a field that's like often male dominated, especially when you're transferring from a business major?
Half of it is like finding other women in tech, but actually a good chunk of it really is like internally, because of the lack of women in tech. Yeah, internally, to stay motivated, it really like circles back to the answer to the other question, which is recognizing which part of tech is like your little bubble or like your little special interest, and like diving deep into it, so that like if anyone questions it, it's really hard to like break your confidence. Like, you don't need to be extremely confident over like the entire span of tech, I think, but like for that internal confidence that people can't break, you just like know there's one thing that you're good at in tech, and you can channel that when you're like doing more versatile activity.
Talking about that, how has documenting and sharing your experience on social media helped you as an individual? Because I know I'm a small content creator and I love creating videos. It helps me express myself. So how has that helped you?
Yeah, sharing my journey has helped me because I think I've been pretty honest on my journey. Like, I've posted about when I've succeeded, but I've also posted about when I've failed. Not in just like achievements, but also in like emotions. Like, I've expressed the fear of being in this new journey, and also the intimidation, as well as like even like concrete failures. Like, if I wasn't as authentic online, I was trying to put up more front, I think I would have more of a struggle with continuing content creation. But mostly I just like to have fun with it, and it's just helped because I found some other really cool content creators, some from Canada. This guy, Chen. Hopefully, if I go to Hot Hacks, where we were thinking of collabing. Yeah.
I'm genuinely so proud of you, first of all, because we now rarely find authentic content creators who share ups and downs, not just the bright side of their life. So, good job.
So this is like a little fun thing, but I was downtown the other day and I was walking through the mall and I saw Nicholas Chen. But But anyway,
No!
I literally ran into him and I was like, isn't that the guy on my Instagram reels? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
he's super chill. Yeah.
So next question. This is related to like the content that you create on social media. So when you're sharing all these experiences, what is the biggest takeaway you hope your followers and viewers can learn from your content?
The biggest takeaway has always been, it doesn't matter where you come from or like what your background is previously, anyone can really do anything or build anything. I think I've made a video on this before, but like you don't need to go to a very top school to chase your dreams. You don't have to have like years of experience to start a new chapter and things like that. It's really just like not thinking of yourself in the context of everything else, but like thinking of yourself in the very present.
Speaking of hawk hacks, what's your most notable hackathon? And please feel free to go in depth on like any aspect that you found fun, the people, the thing that you made, or the overall experience.
Ooh. Oh wait, you saw my Hack Hawks vlog?
Well, kind of. Okay. One of my friends actually went to Hawk Hacks and she was like, yo, this really famous creator was there. And I was like, whoa, you saw Audrey, because I knew you previously, but I didn't know that you were at Hawk Hacks. And I was shocked. I was flabbergasted. So what was your like, okay, it doesn't have to be Hawk Hacks, but it'd be really nice if it was a Canadian one, because the 6th. But what's like your most notable hackathon?
Honestly, the most notable hackathons have actually been the most recent ones. Like there have been so many good memories from the old hackathons that I was like, oh, nothing can top this. But then the recent ones have been been going up and up. Yeah, so that's like Hawk Hacks and the VChain X BCG hackathon. Like the very last win. So the VChain hackathon was in San Francisco, and it was like kind of scary because like they had people internationally, like not just Canadians, Americans, but like Europeans, like people from London, and like the prizes were crazy. It was like $30,000, and then I was like, frick. So, but the team that I met there, it was like all of them had like such memorable personalities. Like there's like these 2 guys that were like besties that came from Connecticut. One of them was like super rambunctious, and the other dude was like super chill, but like he was so goated as a developer, and like their dynamic is cute. And then we in that team, like we brought on a business major. Like I saw this business major had won like quite a few hackathons. He was doing a master's at UMich, and I was like, okay, he's not a developer. I usually prefer like full developer teams, but I was like, okay, this hackathon, we gotta pull out some crazy stuff if we're gonna win. So we brought on this business major, and he helped like a lot with the strategy and the pitch deck, and so like everything came together so well, and the development was good, the idea was good, the people were like super fun to be around. We made a lot of reels too, and then we won first place, the $4,500. So
dang,
that was pretty epic. That I don't think a lot. Oh, there's also cake, bro. They brought in a crypto cake with like they brought a cake at the end, and I've only seen that happen like in one other hackathon. So like it was pretty lit.
That's insane.
That's so cool, actually.
Okay, so this is gonna sound random, but like speaking of music, because we're not speaking of music, but like really, how many instruments do you play?
Oh, guitar, violin, piano, ukulele. Yeah, I have a 4 question mark.
Do you have any instruments that you want to play or you want to learn?
I want to play some kind of wind or band instrument. I've tried it, but like it's hard to make noises on them. But like maybe clarinet or something would add like a really good feel to the songs.
Okay, so speaking of like hackathons and stuff, what applications or study hacks do you absolutely swear by?
Ooh, study hacks? Like academic or hackathons?
Really just any kind of, I would say academically study hacks.
Oh, academically? Ooh. I'd swear by going to office hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, in high school, I was kind of like quiet, so I wouldn't really talk to teachers that much. But in college, like I think it's kind of a necessity for like very hard classes to approach teachers and like go to office hours.
Speaking of high school, what is something that you notice a lot of high school students are kind of like lacking today, mindset wise? And what kind of solutions or alternatives could you suggest?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think that high school students, or at least regarding like my personal high school experience, and also like I guess seeing other high school students right now, is like maybe lack of initiative. And that's like, okay, a lot of people like want to move up in clubs, and a lot of people want to move up in academics themselves, but like by initiative I mean like going outside of the box and like starting something that you think people would like or that you like yourself, and like not for resumes, not for like college transcripts. I think what you guys are doing right now is actually pretty awesome. Like starting a podcast before senior year. I don't think I did that. So yeah.
So, last but not least, think about this carefully. What message would you like to leave the young girls who are listening and considering a future in STEM?
I think the only message that I have is that you have it in you. Like, no matter what anyone says, you have it inside. Like, on like a very deep level, I think everyone has it. Don't set a boundary around yourself saying that it's something that I want to get now or get later. Like, it's like, oh, if I work towards this, then I'll eventually be a good developer. Or if I work towards this, then I eventually will deserve to be in STEM. But no, it's you already have it. Like, you can have it be a part of you already. And that's the only message.
Thank you. Okay, so that kind of concludes our interview. Thank you so much for like meeting with us today, and it was really truly like a pleasure to speak with you.
Yeah, thank you guys for the opportunity. You guys are doing awesome. I'm looking forward to episodes.
It was genuinely nice meeting you. We had so much fun doing this.
We were like a little nervous with it being like our first episode, but thank you so much.
Yeah, I guess it's like a chill vibe. It's like all of you guys.
Thank you.
Comfortable.
Thank you.